This bill, H.R. 260, focuses on three main issues, and this bill was brought to my attention by Navy SEAL Sean Ryan and a friend of his, Legend, who goes by that name because of his death threats. He's a former, he's an Afghani that fought on our side. It does three things, Mr. Chairman. Keeps financial and material support out of the hands of the Taliban. Number two, reports on cash assistance programs. And three, reporting on the Afghan Fund and the Afghan Central Bank. Since December of 2021, Mr. Chairman, the United States has sent over $5 billion in cash to Kabul. This money has been taxed and stolen by the Taliban, yet we continue to send it, oddly enough. And that definitely needs to end. The State Department needs to ensure that any dadgum aid, whether financial or material, does not go to terrorists in Afghanistan. We need to have a clearer understanding of the influence the Taliban has on not just international aid, but the Afghan banking system as well. They will hate us for free, Mr. Chairman. When this bill was originally introduced at the end of 2023, it did not mention non-governmental organizations or NGOs in Afghanistan. However, our understanding of the reality on the ground has changed. During a hearing last year, former Secretary of State Anthony Blinken admitted that over $10 million had been paid to the Taliban. Contacts within Taliban resistance forces have provided me with a different narrative. According to them, nearly all of the cash and aid sent to Afghanistan ends up in the hands of the Taliban. Now, we know about 70%, Mr. Chairman, of the aid work being done in Afghanistan is done by NGOs. They should absolutely be included in this legislation. Small NGOs do not have the protection of an organization like the United Nations. Everybody knows that. And if the State Department is to implement a strategy to keep tax dollars out of the hands of the Taliban, NGOs should have that protection. They should have that protection. Now, here's the fact that you need to listen to. Also, it's estimated there are around 1,000 NGOs operating in Afghanistan today, 1,000. We need to know who these groups are that are receiving our tax dollars. Secondly, there is a weekly influx of cash being sent to Kabul. Anti-Taliban contacts tell me approximately $40 million in cash is flown to Afghanistan weekly. That's American taxpayers' dollars. In November of 2022 alone, $280 million was flown to Kabul. This year, over $200 million has been delivered. This cash is deposited into the Afghanistan International Bank, and then it's transferred to Afghanistan Central Bank. Afghanistan Central Bank is currently under control of the Taliban. I don't trust the Taliban to properly distribute $40 million every week only to aid workers. I don't see how anybody can on either side of the aisle, Mr. Chairman. The State Department must move quickly to end this practice, which is why the reporting timeline has been shortened compared to last Congress's version of the bill. Every week, Mr. Chairman, is $40 million that we cannot account for going to the Taliban.
This bill, it requires the Department of State to develop and implement a strategy to discourage foreign countries and non-government organizations, NGOs, from providing financial and material support to the Taliban. That's important for the United States of America. We don't have an embassy there. We don't have diplomatic relations with the Taliban, and they are a terrorist organization. This includes by using U.S.-provided foreign assistance to discourage countries and organizations from providing support to the Taliban. We don't want American tax dollars in any way, shape, or form going to the Taliban. And my colleague, Mr. Meeks, pointed out that this was a bill that was discussed in the last Congress. And one of the things that I would point out, and I strongly encourage discussion with your members about any consideration of voting no on this as we come to this as a recorded vote later. Because in the last Congress, that was negotiated months before there was a CIGAR report released that spoke of their groundbreaking findings about how taxpayer dollars were benefiting the Taliban through NGOs, number one. And number two, just how many NGOs refused to even speak to CGAR and talk about what they were using dollars for. That negotiation took place before that as one of the things that should be discussed about any consideration of possibly voting no on this bill. It is important for us that we have transparency where our dollars are going or not going. I would agree with you, and that includes through NGOs, and especially NGOs that are working with the Taliban.